In this tutorial, we're going to show the second method of outputting information back to the user. We did so in a previous example using display. Now we're going to use something called fprintf. And fprintf is a little bit different. So to get started, we have favnum equals 2. We have name equals Joseph. These are the pieces of information that we began with last time. So now we are going to get started. We used display to display this string because, well, let's just say we were after this string right there. We used the display function to build that string in the following manner. Now we're going to use a different function called fprintf. Fprintf is a little bit different. I'm going to take the string that I want to build right here, and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to come in, and I'm going to type apostrophe, paste, apostrophe. Now there are two places, here and here, where that concept of abstraction is going to be applied, where we have abstracted referencing information. This is going to be the name variable. But we don't put name here, we put %s. We'll talk about why in a minute. This is the second place where we are going to use that concept of abstraction to reference information. And here we're going to put %0.0f. And I don't know what's with the 5. We don't need that. We also don't need capital F. We need lowercase f. All right, and there was a % sign missing. That's where the 5 came from. Comma, the first piece of information, at least we'll let me put all this together and then we'll talk about it. So I'm going to say comma name, comma favorite num, and close parentheses. Now here's how this works. This is the string that we would like to output to the user. We know that because it's purple and we start with an apostrophe and end with an apostrophe. This is a consistent notation for building strings. This % sign is a placeholder. So in the past we've used % signs to start comments. Comments were notes to ourselves inside of a program, but here inside of the string, inside of fprintf, this % sign is a placeholder. It tells MATLAB this is in this location we're going to put some variable value. Here we're going to put the second variable value. Now the information that follows tells MATLAB what type of variable information we are going to use. The %s is a string. Name is saved as a character array or a string. This 0.0f, this is for numbers. So now we have a placeholder, we have information that tells MATLAB what type of information we're going to display. We have 1, 2, we then list the variables 1, 2 in sequential order where they will be placed according to the placeholders. So when I press enter here, we have one more thing that we have to talk about. Right here, my cursor is just sitting at the end of the line that I just output. Now here's the deal. Display is sort of it's like coloring with crayons, I guess is a good way to put it. Display is a function built that calls fprintf. Fprintf is a much lower level code or a piece of code or function. It mirrors a function that's available in most programming languages. Some is called printf, some is called printc, some is called something else. But fprintf, you have to be very specific with what you tell fprintf. Display will kick some information out and then automatically give a line return. Fprintf does not automatically give you a line return. So I'm just going to press return. I'm going to press the up arrow. Right before I have my second apostrophe, which closes my string, I'm going to type /n. This slash is available above your return key or your enter key if you have a US-based keyboard. If you don't, I don't know where it is, but just to look around, it's this shape, /n. And then I press enter, and now this did execute a line return. So it displayed all of this information and then executed a line return, and that's why my cursor is now on the next line. So this is very important in formatting, and as a matter of fact, we can do it again. Let's at the beginning say /n, and at the end we'll add 2 more /n/ns. And when I run this, now I have 2 blank lines, /n/n, /n/n. So there's 3 at the end. 1 took me to the next line, 1 got me the 2 blank lines. Okay? Now let's play with this variable information, because this might be a little confusing to some of you. This %0.0f tells MATLAB the f is that we're dealing with numeric data. This first 0 is the width. So how wide or how many spaces I would like MATLAB to use when displaying this number. If we leave it as 0, that means MATLAB will just figure it out by default. So that is the default. And for a majority of the for those of you that are brand new programmers, leaving it at 0 is almost always fine. The second 0, this 0.0, so the second 0 is the number of decimal places that we would like to use, or the precision with which we'd like to communicate this number. Most people's favorite number is not a decimal. So in this case, we're going to leave it as an integer value. But for the sake of this discussion, when we display this, it would be smart to leave it as an integer value. But for the sake of this discussion, let's go ahead and give it 6 decimal places the second time. And now we have your name is Joseph, and your favorite number is 2.000000, 6 zeros. Now let's see what happens when we change the width. So again, I'm going to press the up arrow. Here we're going to say 20. So we're going to tell MATLAB we would like you to use 20 spaces to communicate this one piece of information. And what follows is this, that this sum total is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it doesn't matter, 20 spaces. If we again go back to 0.0, then we have the default width, 0, because we're interested in integer favorite numbers, and this is what we have. This is the fprintf statement. There are other slash modifiers, such as tab, space. I'm going to leave you to figure some of those out on your own. The textbook that is coupled with the course has some good information on that, but you can find other things online, or many examples online. /t/s are usually the only others that people use. And we'll have more in-depth examples of fprintf at a later date. This is just meant to get you aware of how to use fprintf and a little more familiar with it. So in our next example, we're going to combine all of the input, display, and fprintf stuff together to get information from the user, do something with that information, and then kick it back out to the user. So we're going to be dealing with real data input and output using algorithmically generated outputs. So in the meantime, I would urge you to play with fprintf. You can use input and fprintf at the same time. You can hard code some data like I did here with 2 and Joseph, and understanding what string I wanted to work my way to. But just go ahead and play around with the 0.0f, the %s, the % signs, the order of variables. Until next time.